the bizarre news continues featuring Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh says something very surprising, which leads to a host of other problems, and people are now complaining and lashing out, because what does it mean for boxing if this is in fact real and the case? So in this video, I'm going to break down what was said, what this means, and how it looks. So should be a pretty straightforward video. Now, what you guys could do to help is help my Instagram get to 75,000. Boxingego 1, link in the description. Turki, he made a very weird remark. I made this graphic for you, and here's the tweet. Right here. I know you see it. I know you see it. Meet me in the trap. Ego talking crap. Listen, I know y'all see it. Stop playing with me. Turki says, and I quote, "I will be very upset if Edgar Berlanga and Zepeda knock out Hamza Shiraz and Shakur Stevenson. We have big plans for Shiraz and Shakur, and this result would be a complete disaster." Huh? Hey, yo, bro, what? Now, Turki continues to blur the lines of a promoter advisor. And since he's dropping crazy money on fights and overpaying fighters that would never get probably the purses that he's giving them, I feel like he feels empowered. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Can't nobody tell me nothing. He on his Kanye West. You can't tell me nothing. I had dreams. When I woke, I spent that on a necklace. He's like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm putting together these fights. Me and the Saudis, we putting Sella and everybody, we putting these fights on. We paying the money. It's our show. And we do whatever we want. That's what it seems like. So that's just a weird statement. You're putting up the money, but then you're talking about pretty much favoritism, who you want to lose and who you don't want to lose. That I've never seen a party that frequently and continually seems so slanted towards a particular side, and or is very open about the outcome that they want for the fight. You know what I mean? When Tyson Fury, he did a FaceTime with Usyk for the rematch, and Turki let it be known he wanted Tyson Fury to win. He told that to Usyk's face. So, I mean, I give him credit for at least being like unapologetic about it, but it's also very weird. My thing is, here's the skinny of it, mate. This is the real issue at hand that I feel like. On one hand, I get it. You put up the money. Can't nobody tell you. Like, nobody's going to tell me how to run my channel. It's my channel. So I get it in that sense. But I believe that in life, in business, sometimes there are some compromises, right? I'm still like beholden to YouTube's terms of service, things like that. And for boxing fans, we're not used to this. And where I think these blurred lines become potentially problematic is you were already in Hamza Shiraz's corner trying to game him up in the Carlos Adames fight, right? Oh, you need a knockout. Tell him he needs a knockout to win, right? So you trying to help a particular fighter win. A PBC fighter flew all the way to Saudi Arabia. He said he had problems entering the country and all this type of stuff. And the Muslim fighter in a Muslim country that's a Riyadh season ambassador, Hamza Shiraz, you openly wanted him to win, and you were in his corner trying to tell him what to do to win. Now you're saying we want this Muslim ambassador Shiraz to win because we have big plans. So imagine being Team Berlanga. How would you feel about this, knowing the game don't want you to win? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's weird. Like, Berlanga, he got to go in there. Like, are you up against the judges? That's the real issue here, is because if you're pretty much saying you don't want Berlanga to spoil the party, right? What happens if you do? Then what? And this is, the ring has just been doing weird stuff like this, announcing multiple fights. You don't have to, you're announcing future fights, and then you ain't even cleared this fight, talking about Haney fighting Ryan Garcia in a rematch in October. And then what? Rolly beats Ryan Garcia, and then that don't happen. And then it's all FUBAR. So now you're talking about, I hope Zepeda, a Golden Boy fighter, and Berlanga, a Keith Connolly fighter, I hope they don't win, basically. That's pretty much what you're saying. So when you blur the lines, it gets dangerous, because now, are these guys going to get a fair shake? What if it's a regular fight, but it's close, and Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz don't knock each other out, right? And it could have went either way certain rounds. Now you have a Muslim advisor, a Muslim fighter, and then he's already publicly spoken for what he wants the outcome to be. Is Berlanga, is Zepeda, are they going to get a fair shake? So a lot of these fighters are selling out, you know, to get the quick bag, because they wouldn't be able to get it the old fashioned way. But it comes with the cost. It comes with a cost. That's why I don't believe in shortcuts, because you get the quick path to the bag because you don't want to do it the old fashioned way, brand yourself, work it up like Tank, like Errol Spence, like Wilder, like Canelo, you know, the old fashioned like grassroots to get your name popping. And then you take these like easy outs where you got this Saudi advisor who's just bankrolling people, but then is under the like kind of like dictator type terms, where it's like you got to just do what he says. He talking about, I don't want Tom and Jerry fights, I might do a smaller ring, all these things that could favor certain people. And then now he's talking about it would be bad for certain people to win. Very bizarre stuff, in my opinion. We haven't seen this, because I think people want a clean fight. They don't want to have to worry about like, oh man, this was rigged and stuff like that. But when you have the promoter saying stuff like this, I don't like how that looks. The optics look very bad, especially with other things like the Carlos Adames fight that I've mentioned. And I get it, you're putting up the money, but it still looks very bad. Turkey does a lot of weird stuff where he's being sarcastic. So I don't know if this is sarcasm, but just to put it out, it's just weird. Why would you even put it out? If you're just being sarcastic, you're just kind of wasting people's time. So let me know what you guys think about it. Definitely drop me a comment with your initial reaction.